Hill for the Vikings, and he will face this Kee High lineup. Leading off the pitcher, Dylan Peterson. Batting second at shortstop, Kyle Hitchens. Hitting third, the catcher, Logan Flack. Batting fourth at second base, Clay Olson. Hitting fifth in left field, Jed McLymans. Hitting sixth at third base, Ethan Walliser. Hitting seventh at first base, Michael Reinke. Hitting eighth in center field, Tucker Kelsch. And batting ninth in right field, John Mooney. The Vikings defensively will have Cole Minks in left, Gabe Varney in center, and Trevor Phillips in right. At third base, Tyler Dostal. Brennan Hogan will be at shortstop. Cam Korsnes at second, and Jacob Marlowe will be at first. Caleb Qualley will be behind the plate. And Colin Nimrod on the hill. Nimrod developed into the number one pitcher for Decorah last year. Had a very good season, 11-2. A 1.39 ERA, and opponents only hit 162 against him. He threw 75 2/3 innings. Gave up 51 hits, 15 earned runs, walked 15, and struck out 73. So away we go for the 2015 baseball season. On an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball here in Decorah at Olin Zach Field. Colin Nimrod, the senior right-hander, takes to the hill. Nimrod kicks and deals, and the first offering of the game is a strike as we get going at 5:35. A little bit late tonight, but a lot of things to organize on opening night. No balls, one strike the count on Peterson. The next one drops in low. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. In fact, the scoreboard, every time you put up a ball and a strike, there's a run for the Vikings in the third and the fourth innings. The pitch swinging a foul, right side not a play, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don't know what the magic potion Elliot Christian is doing over there, but hey. Of course, with the new scoreboard at softball and the new scoreboard at baseball, I mean, sometimes when you get the frequencies messed up a little bit, weird things can happen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, count, and the pitch drops in low from Callan, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dylan Peterson. 2-2 the count on number 2 to start the game here tonight. Nimrod wheels and deals, and the pitch swung out, popped up right side. Jacob Marlowe coming over into foul ground and will make the catch against the fence beyond the Kee High dugout on the first base side. And there's 1 down here in the first inning. So Peterson fouls out, 1 down, nobody on, and the batter is Kyle Hitchens for Kee High.
Kyle Hitchens.
If you look at this Kee High lineup,
Problems at the scoreboard. Pay no attention to the line score. We will keep the ball and strike count accurate.
the first pitch in there for a strike, says home plate umpire Daryl Severson. No balls, 1 strike count. Not a lot of experience in the lineup that Kee High is putting out there. A curve is swung on and missed as Hitchens over the top of it. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. In fact, you look at this lineup. Ethan Walliser at third base had 3 at-bats last year, and that's the most varsity at-bats. Here's Nimrod, or rather Qualley, out from behind the plate, fielding a swinging bunt of Hitchens, and he'll throw on to first base, and Jacob Marlowe for the putout, and there's 2 down here in the first inning. An 0-2 pitch that Hitchens didn't get a lot of contact on. It died right in front of home plate. Qualley, from his catcher position, threw down to first base for the out. And there's 2 down here in the first inning, and Logan Flack will be the batter. No score here in the first. There's a ground ball off the glove of Nimrod, fielded by Hogan at shortstop, and he'll throw on to first base, and Flack retired 1-6-3, and that's that for the first inning. So Kee High goes 1-2-3. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. It is Kee High nothing, and Decorah coming to bat, and they will bat this way. Leading off in center field will be Gabe Varney. Batting second, the pitcher, Colin Nimrod. Hitting third, the catcher, Caleb Qualley. Batting fourth at first base, Jacob Marlowe. Hitting fifth at shortstop, Brennan Hogan. Hitting sixth in right field, Trevor Phillips. Hitting seventh, the designated hitter, Andrew Benelli. Benelli will bat for the left fielder, Cole Minks. Hitting eighth at third base is Tyler Dostal, and batting ninth, the second baseman, Cam Korsnes. And that lineup will face Dylan Peterson. Peterson, a kid who only had one start last year for the Kee Hawks in an inning and 2/3 of varsity ball. He walked 4, struck out 2, and only faced 7 batters. The defense for the Kee Hawks will be Jed McLymans in left, Tucker Kelsch in center, and John Mooney in right. At third base, Ethan Walliser. At shortstop, Kyle Hitchin. At second base, Clay Olson. Michael Reinke will be at first base with Logan Flack behind the plate. And Dylan Peterson on the mound as we get the season going here tonight. Again, a beautiful night for baseball here in Decorah. We will do the first baseball game, then the second softball game tonight, which is the varsity game between Decorah and Kee High, as rookie head coach Randy Iverson coaches his first softball game tonight. In the pregame for that one, I gave him a little grief for that one, and you can listen to that one a little later right here on AM 1240 KDEC and at KDECradio.com. Gabe Varney will lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning. Varney, a junior. In fact, you look at the Decorah lineup, Colin Nimrod has a good amount of at-bats coming back, and obviously Colin's been a regular since his freshman year. So he has a lot of varsity experience, but nobody else really does. Varney, a left-hand hitter against the right-hand throwing Peterson, and a strike is called. It's no balls and 1 strike on Gabe Varney. He'll be followed by Colin Nimrod and Caleb Qualley here in the bottom of the first inning. Peterson, a tall, skinny right-hander. The 0-1 delivery is a fastball outside for 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Peterson kicks and deals, and the 1-1 delivery is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Peterson ready, 2-1 delivery. That one at the letters and for a strike. Good movement on that offering, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Peterson kicks and deals, and the 2-2 delivery, a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Logan Flack, and there's 1 out here in the first inning. So Varney down on strikes, 1 down, nobody on for Colin Nimrod.
Second, Colin Nimrod.
And the pitch out of the zone from Colin. 1 ball, no strikes. Colin, last year was a .386 hitter, 39 hits on the season as that one Colin has to duck out of the way of, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to count. He had 9 extra base hits, 13 RBI, and he was a .481 on-base percentage guy as Colin squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and throws it outside for 3 balls and no strikes, does Peterson. No score here in the bottom half of the first inning. Peterson gets the sign from Logan Flack in the 3-0 delivery. Colin squares, pulls it back, and takes for a strike, and we proceed at 3 balls and 1 strike now. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. It's up for ball 4, and we have the game's first base runner. Nimrod at first with 1 down for Caleb Qualley.
Third batter, Caleb Qualley.
Qualley got a little bit of experience last year. He was 1 for 8 with 2 RBI. That's a varsity hitter. As the pitch goes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Senior catcher getting his chance behind the dish this year. 1-0 delivery. A move to first base and back to the bag diving is Colin Nimrod. Nimrod a year ago was 8 for 8 in the steal department. He was second on the squad behind Jake Hubden in that category. As the pitch goes outside, it is 2 balls, no strikes from Peterson to Qualley. So 6 out of the last 7 have been out of the zone from Dylan Peterson. Nimrod, a 2.5 stride lead at first base, held on there by Reinke as the pitch goes high. It's 3 balls, no strikes on Caleb Qualley. And now catcher Logan Flack will go out to talk to Dylan Peterson to try to calm him down a bit. Peterson only started 1 game last year in an inning and 2/3, faced 8 batters and walked 4 of them. Three balls, no strikes, and the pitch. And Caleb takes all the way for a strike. It's 3-1. I know in years past under Coach Schultz, you often threw your runner goes, pitch taking a strike, throw down to second base, and Nimrod is in with a head-first slide. So it's 3-2 now on Qualley, and Nimrod gets into scoring position with his first steal of the season. A runner at second, 1 down. A 3-2 count on Caleb Qualley. A pause from Peterson. The 3-2 swung on, smacked into right field, and a base hit. Rounding third and getting a stop sign is Colin Nimrod. So runners at the corners with 1 down for the Vikings. So Caleb Qualley gets the first base hit of the season for Decorah. And Joe Kanoki will get his courtesy at first base.
Running at first base, Joe Kanoki.
Kanoki at first, Nimrod at third, and Jacob Marlowe with a chance to shine in his first varsity at bat. Marlowe in from the right-hand side of the plate. Kanoki with the lead at first base. The pause by Peterson and the pitch goes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So Peterson having a little trouble finding the zone. He went to 3-1 before walking Nimrod. Went to 3-2 on Qualley before giving up the base hit. The 1-0 gets by the catcher Flack. Down the line from third and scoring is Nimrod. Kanoki moves to second, and the Vikes have a 1-0 lead. So Nimrod scores on the wild pitch. Kanoki moves to second on the play, and it's a 2 ball, no strike count on Jacob Marlowe. The challenge you got when you've got Peterson having trouble finding the zone in this situation, sometimes mentally you come up not expecting a strike as the pitch swung on and fouled down the line. 2 balls and 1 strike. And perhaps that takes away a little bit of the aggressiveness that you would naturally have at the plate. Peterson comes set, 2 looks at second, the 2-1 well high for 3 balls and 1 strike now. Kanoki the runner at second, and a 1-0 Decorah lead here in the bottom half of the first inning. The pause and the 3-1 swung on, popped up. Shallow center. Hitchens, the shortstop, yields to the second baseman, Clay Olson, and Olson makes the catch. 2 steps onto the outfield grass behind second for the second out of the inning. And now it's time for the first varsity at bat for Brandon Hogan. Runner at second, 2 down. We're in the bottom half of the first inning of a 1-0 Decorah lead. Hogan, the freshman, bats from the right-hand side of the plate. Peterson comes set, and the first pitch well high again. It's 1 ball, no strikes. So Peterson has been forced to labor a little bit in this first inning. This will already be his 23rd pitch as the pitch goes low. It is 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count on Hogan. The 2-0, well high again. It's now 3 balls and no strikes with Trevor Phillips in the on-deck circle. And another visit from Flack to Peterson on the pitching mound. It's 3-0 on Hogan, with Kanoki running for Qualley at second base and 2 down. Colin Nimrod scored on a wild pitch a moment ago to make it a 1-0 advantage. Hogan takes all the way for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Hogan. The 3-1 delivery in that got him in the helmet. Hogan hit by the pitch. He's showing no worse for the wear as he makes his way down to first base. First and second, 2 down. And now Kee High coach Jim Moss is going to go out and talk to Dylan Peterson. Before the Trevor Phillips at bat. First and second, 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Peterson has struck out 1, walked 1, hit 1, and given up 1 hit.
Just arriving, experiencing problems with the scoreboard, and there's a new scoreboard at softball, and we're just guessing there could be some problem with the frequencies. But the ball and strike count and outs is working. Pay no attention to the numbers behind Guest and Vikings, but the Decorah does lead 1-0 in the lower right-hand corner with 1 hit.
Coach Moss heading back to the first base dugout. And the runners and batters return to their respective positions. So Trevor Phillips will stand in here. First and second with 2 down and 2 on here in the first inning. And the pitch to Phillips. Outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. So Peterson trying to get out of the first inning with no further damage. The 0-1 delivery. Phillips had to spin out of the way of that one. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Trevor. Andrew Benelli hoping for a turn on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch swinging a foul back. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Peterson, a look back at second, and the 1-2 delivery gets by the catcher Flack. So moving up to third is Kanoki, and down to second will be Hogan. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Trevor Phillips. Two and 2 on the pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 call. And that's that for the first inning. But the Vikes draw first blood, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We are 1 inning complete. It is Decorah leading Kee High 1-0. Top of the second inning we go. It's a 1-0 lead for Decorah. Colin Nimrod walked, stole second, advanced to third on a base hit, and scored on a wild pitch. He'll return to the hill to face Clay Olson, Jed McLymans, and Ethan Walliser here in the top of the second inning. As the first pitch from Colin in there for a strike, 0-1. Colin didn't have to work too much because of his efficiency in the first inning. Only a 9-pitch first inning for Nimrod. The 0-1 delivery in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball or no balls and 2 strikes actually. Good curveball that Olson was ducking out of the way of. The 0-2 delivery swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Qualley will pick it up. He'll throw down to Marlowe at first base to officially record the put-out. And Colin Nimrod has his first strikeout of 2015.
23, Jed McLymons.
So one down, nobody on, and Jed McLymons to the plate in a 1-0 Decorah lead here in the top of the second. McLymons swinging at the first one and fouling at third base side. No balls and 1 strike to count. Nimrod, an 11-2 pitcher a year ago. The 0-1 delivery swung on a ground ball, similar spot foul, third base side, as Coach Jim Moss retrieves it from his third base coaching box. Taking over for Gene Schultz, the winningest coach in high school baseball history. And I know it's cliche to say, but that record will never be broken. The 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. McLymons laid on the Nimrod fastball, so there's 2 down here in the second inning. 2 down, nobody on, and the batter is Ethan Walliser.
Ethan Walliser.
Walliser bats from the right-hand side of the plate. Pitch in there for a strike from Nimrod. It snowballs and 1 strike. A 1-0 lead for Decorah here in the bottom of the second inning. Nimrod scoring on a wild pitch in the bottom of the first. The pitch goes low. It is 1 ball, 1 strike here in the top of the second inning, rather. Hazy sunshine above, temperatures in the 80s. Game was originally scheduled for last night, but Mother Nature took care of that, and the pitch in there for a strike to Walliser. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 1-2 the count with 2 down. Nimrod gets the target from Qualley in the 1-2 delivery. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Nimrod strikes out the side here in the second. Another 3-up, 3-down inning. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. It is Decorah 1 and Kee High 0. We go to the bottom of the second inning, a 1-0 lead for Decorah. Glad you're with us on opening night from Olensack Field. It'll be the bottom third of the order for Decorah. Here in the bottom of the second inning, the designated hitter Andrew Benelli. He will be followed by third baseman Tyler Dostal and second baseman Cam Korsnes.
Starting with Andrew Benelli.
Peterson labored in that first inning as Benelli swings and fouls the first pitch at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Benelli, the designated hitter, batting for the left fielder Cole Minks. Peterson was forced to throw 29 pitches in that first inning. Had trouble finding the strike zone, but only came away giving up 1 run. The 0-1 delivery is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. By comparison, Colin Nimrod has only thrown 19 pitches through 2 innings. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch to Benelli, high and tight. On the fastball from Peterson, it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. First of 2 here tonight. Traditional season opener. The 2-1 delivery, high and tight, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. It wasn't the season opener a year ago. Vikings opened at Mason City. They played on the Friday night up at Copeland Park in La Crosse. The 3-1 delivery swung on and hit towards third base. It's off the glove of Walliser, and Benelli is going to reach. Walliser moved to his left to try to catch the soft line drive. It popped out of his glove. It'll be an E5, and Benelli will be at first base with nobody out. And the batter will be Tyler Dostal. The Vikings senior third baseman bats from the right-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Peterson. Dostal squares to bunt, does so right in front of the plate. Peterson is going to go to second base, but he throws it into center field. Benelli will be safe at second, and Dostal will be safe at first. So give
Tyler Dostal with the bunt.
The Vikings first and second with nobody out here in the second inning. And a golden opportunity to add on to their 1-0 lead. And here's Cam Korsnes. Cam in from the right-hand side of the plate. Reinke will move up on the grass at third, even or at first, even with the bag at third is Walliser. Korsness squares to bunt and fouls the pitch off. No balls and 1 strike. So a couple of Kee Hawk errors here in the bottom of the second inning have given the Vikings a golden opportunity. Varney in the top of the order on deck. And most of the headaches for Kee High to this point in the game have been self-induced. 1 walk, 1 hit batter, and now 2 errors. Korsness squares to bunt and takes the pitch outside on the curve. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Korsness. 1-0 Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. Colin Nimrod scored on a wild pitch as the next pitch taken high. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch out of the zone again. 3 balls and 1 strike. This is Vikings Radio 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.com. Korsness squares to bunt on 3-1. Lays it up the first base side, and it's a beauty of a bunt. And it's fielded in fair territory, so Korsness will get a bunt signal. Single, that is. Logan Flack, the catcher, tried to let it roll into foul territory, but by the time it died, it just stayed in fair territory, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. And the infield up at all 4 spots for Kee High, as Gabe Varney will stand in. He struck out looking in the first as Varney swings and pops the first one foul and out of play. It is no balls and 1 strike as that one lands over Goose Island Drive. 0-1 on Varney, starting the second trip around the batting order for Decorah. A 1-0 lead for the Vikings. As the pitch high and tight to Varney. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Vikes looking to add on to their 1-0 lead. It's 1-1 on Varney with nobody out. The pitch smacked into right and a base hit. Bonelli will score. Dostal chugging to the plate. Relay throw, there won't be one. Moving to third on the play is Korsness. A 2-run single for Gabe Varney. And the Vikes take a 3-0 lead. Varney with 2 RBI on the single to right to score 2 unearned runs, but they both count on the board, and Colin Nimrod will look to keep the fun going for Decorah.
Next, Colin Nimrod.
Nimrod walked and scored in the first inning. Runner goes. Nimrod pops one up on the infield. Varney's going to have to put the brakes on and hustle back to first base as the ball is dropped by the second baseman, Olsen. Olsen will get the force out at second. Korsness will score on the play, and it's 4-0. It's been the bad news Bears here through 2 innings for the Kee Hawks. As Olsen drops the pop-up, Nimrod will reach on the fielder's choice. Varney retired for the first out of the inning. Olsen to Hitchens, 4-6. But the dropped pop-up will allow Korsness to score, so that'll be the 3rd error for the Kee Hawks. And Qualley takes the first pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Qualley singled to right in the first inning. Qualley squares to bunt and looks at the pitch high. 2 balls, no strikes. So a single tally in the first for Decorah and 3 in the second for the Vikings, and they lead at 4-0. And a move to first base, back to the bag diving is Nimrod. Pitch inside corner taken for a strike by Qualley, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. Two and 1 the count. The runner goes in the pitch. Hit line drive hits Peterson with his glove right around the belt area, and it's knocked down. Qualley will be out at first as Peterson recovered and threw to Reinke for the second out of the inning, with Nimrod moving up to third, or to second rather, on the play. So a runner at second and 2 down, and the batter will be Jacob Marlowe, who popped to second in the first inning. A 4-0 lead for Decorah. Marlowe swings and misses at a curve. No balls and 1 strike. Marlowe, the cleanup hitter for the Vikings. The pitch, ground ball towards third, fielded there by Walliser. He'll throw across the diamond, and Marlowe retired 5-3. But the Vikes, with a lot of help, score 3 on 2 hits. 3 Kee Hawk errors and 1 left. We head to the top of the third. It is a 4-0 lead for Decorah. Top of the third inning we go. It's a 4-0 lead for Decorah. They've gotten a lot of help in the process, but they're putting the ball in play, forcing a green when it comes to varsity ball team, Kee High, to make some plays, and so far they haven't had the ability to do that. Colin Nimrod has retired the first 6 batters that he has faced, as the curve goes outside to Michael Reinke, the left-hand hitting first baseman, against the right-hander Nimrod. 1 ball, no strikes. That is the first hitter in the first 7 that Nimrod has fallen behind from. Here's ground ball towards second, and Korsnes. He'll pick it up and throw on to first base, and Marlowe for the out. And 4-3 in your scorebook retires the first batter here in the top of the third inning.
Score after the teams is not, except lower right-hand corner is accurate.
1 down, nobody on for Tucker Kelch. Kelch, another left-hand hitter against the right-hander Nimrod. Colin ready in the first offering. Just missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. A run in the first and 3 in the second for Decorah. The 1-0 delivery is low for 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Nimrod has retired the first 7 he has faced. Colin ready in the 2-1 offering. Outside corner for a strike, and it's 2-2. Nimrod 11-2 a year ago, trying to start the season off on the right foot. And the 2-2 delivery is outside for 3 balls, 2 strikes. Vikings leading it by a 4-0 margin. They've been helped by a walk, a hit batter, and 3 Kee Hawk errors. 3-2 delivery, swing and a miss. An off-speed breaking ball. Nimrod gets his 4th strikeout, and there's 2 down here in the third inning.
Number 9 hitter, John Mooney.
2 down, nobody on for John Mooney. The number 9 hitter in the Kee Hawk lineup. The right-handed hitting number 9 hitter. Faces the right-hander Nimrod, and the first pitch, a looper towards first. Backpedaling is Marlowe, and he'll make a basket catch belt high behind the first base bag, and another quick inning defensively for the Vikings. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the third. It's a 4-0 lead for Decorah. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. A 4-0 lead for the Kee Hawks, or for the Vikings on the Kee Hawks. A run in the first and 3 in the second for Decorah. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 due for Decorah here in the bottom of the third inning. Brandon Hogan, Trevor Phillips, and Andrew Bonelli will face Dylan Peterson, about ready to throw his 51st pitch of the game to this point. And Hogan will look at a strike, 0-1. Hogan was hit by a pitch in that first inning. 4-3-0 for Decorah, 0-0-3 for the Kee Hawks thus far. Next pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the first inning, Nimrod scored on a wild pitch. Dave Varney knocked in 2 runs in the second inning on a single to right. The pitch goes low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. And Cam Korsnes scored the 3rd Viking run of the second inning. As the pitch goes low. It's 3 balls, 1 strike on Hogan. Korsnes scored that 3rd run of the second inning on a drop pop-up. As Hogan looks at it outside, and it gets by the catcher Flack, so hustling down to first is Hogan. So Hogan, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, draws a free pass here. The Vikes get their leadoff runner on for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Right fielder Trevor Phillips.
A runner at first, nobody out, and Trevor Phillips will be the batter. Phillips struck out looking in the first 0 for 1. Phillips already squaring to bunt, and Peterson will step off the rubber. Walliser in on the grass at third. Holding the runner on at first is Reinke. Quick move to first base, back to the bag, diving is Hogan. Hogan was taking a couple of steps off the bag and wasn't paying attention to the footwork of Peterson as Phillips squares to bunt and takes the pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. Peterson has walked 2 and hit 1, but he's consistently trailed in the count. Phillips squares to bunt, does so up the third base side and foul. That was a difficult pitch to handle from a bunting perspective. It was about shoulder high outside edge. And it was a fastball, so there wasn't a ton of time to react to it. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Trevor Phillips. A lead at first base by Hogan, and the 1-1 delivery is blown outside for 2 balls, 1 strike now on Phillips. Four 0 the lead for Decorah as we play the bottom half of the 3rd inning and move to first base. Back to the bag, diving once again is Hogan. Two balls, 1 strike. Phillips squares to bunt, does so right in front of the plate. Barehand pickup made by Peterson. He'll throw on to Reinke at first, covering the bag. And the sacrifice complete, 1-3. Hogan moves to second on the play with 1 down, and the batter is Andrew Benelli. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Decorah. No runs, no hits, and 3 errors for the Keyhawks. Benelli reached on an error and scored in the first. He'll look at the first pitch outside from Peterson. 1 ball, no strikes. These two teams split their meetings last year in the doubleheader up in La Crosse. The pitch swung on and missed at a curveball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike count. Tyler Dostal in the on-deck circle. Runner at second with 1 down, the 1-1 delivery. Benelli hits one hard out into center field, and that one will land for a base hit. Hogan rounding third, coming to the plate. The relay throw to the plate, there won't be one. Hogan scores on the Benelli base hit. It's a 5-0 lead for Decorah. So Benelli scored a run in the second, now drives in a run here in the third to add to the Viking total. And Tyler Dostal will look to keep the fun going. He bunted a runner-up, but reached on an error in the first inning as that one pops out of the glove of Flack, and down to second base will go Benelli on the pass ball. So 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Tyler Dostal. A 5-0 lead for Decorah here in the third. Pitched outside. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. on Dostal. 2-0 the count. As Dostal steps out, it's vocal instructions from Coach O down in the third base box. Pinelli a couple of steps off the bag at second, and Dostal fouls the pitch off. Two balls, one strike, count on Dostal. 2-1 delivery, a check swing, and a foul ball to the first base side. And the fencing to the left of the Kee High dugout. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dostal. The runner at second is Benelli. Decorah has at least one tally in each of the 3 thus far, and they lead at 5-0. The pitch, Dostal pops one up shallow right field. Mooney is under it. He will make a 2-handed catch. Benelli stays put at second, and there's 2 down here in the third. And Cam Korsnes will be the batter. He got a nice bunt single and scored a run in the second inning. Vikes 5 runs on 5 hits, helped out by 3 Key Hawk errors thus far. Korsnes wrapping up the second trip around the batting order already here in the third as Cam looks at a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 delivery. Up for 1 ball, 1 strike on Korsnes. The pause and the 1-1 delivery. Ground ball towards third, just fouled, just to the left of the bag up the third base side. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Korsnes. A lead of 5-0 for Decorah. 1-2 with 2 down. The 1-2 delivery as Korsnes swung at a bad one but fouled it off. He swung at that one over his head and fouled it back and out of play. So count stays put at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch out of the zone, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Deuce is wild on the Vikings second baseman. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count the pitch outside. It is now 3-2. Benelli, who got the RBI single a moment ago, is at second base with 2 down. 3-2 the count, the pitch, swing and a foul tip. It was a foul ball, I do believe it, yes. The home plate umpire, Daryl Severson, didn't raise the hands right away, but he must have vocally said foul. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Of Korsnes will see the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Peterson here. A 5-0 lead for Decorah as we play the bottom half of the 3rd inning. A single tally in the 1st and the 3rd and a 3 spot in the 2nd. The pitch swung on and a ground ball towards first base. Reinke will make the play, takes 3 steps to his leg, and makes the unassisted put-out to retire the side. Vikes add 1 to their total, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. We are 3 innings complete. It is a 5-0 lead for Decorah. Top of the 4th inning. Colin Nimrod has retired all 9 that he has faced to this point. It's a 5-0 lead for Decorah. A single tally in the 1st and the 3rd, and a 3 spot in the 2nd inning for Decorah. Dylan Peterson will start the 2nd trip around the batting order. Peterson fouled out to first and Jacob Marlowe in the 1st inning. Nimrod has struck out 4. Walked no one. Colin throws the first one low, 1 ball, no strikes.
The 4th for Kee High, top of the batting order.
Vikes will have Mason City coming to town tomorrow night. Scheduled to be a 5:30 JV, and then a 7:30 varsity pitch in there for a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, and then they'll be off before they open up conference play on Tuesday with the doubleheader against New Hampton. 1-1 delivery. That one low and inside for 2 balls, 1 strike from Colin Nimrod. They'll have their first road contest of the year next Wednesday night on what should be a talented Southwind team coming back. 2-1 delivery, swung on and missed as Peterson swings over the top of a Nimrod breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Crestwood comes to town a week from Friday. 2-2 delivery, swing and a miss at a curve. Nimrod with his 5th strikeout and 10 batters faced, and there's 1 down here in the 4th inning. 1 down, nobody on for Kyle Hitchens, who was thrown out on a swinging bunt by Caleb Qualley back in the 1st inning. A 4-0 Decorah lead as we play the top half of the 4th. And Hitchens swings and misses at the Nimrod breaker. It's no balls and 1 strike. He had a pretty good idea that Colin was going to be a pretty steady Eddie as a number 1 pitcher. He was all last year, and he is again this year as the curveball taken low, and it goes all the way back to the fence. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The question is going to be, who do you have behind Colin? I guess we'll find out here in the not-too-distant future in game number 2. 1-1 the count, the pitch outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2 now on Kyle Hitchens. One, 2, swing and a miss at a curve again. Colin with his 6th strikeout, 2 down here in the 4th inning. Because 1 pitcher will take you a ways, but you got to have some depth on that pitching staff if you're going to have a successful year, especially in the compact season, which is Iowa high school baseball. 2 down, and Logan Flack to the plate. He grounded to short in the 1st, 0 for 1. 5-0 Decorah here in the 4th. This pitch goes low. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Falk. The 1-0 delivery. Low. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Two-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. That's the first time Colin has gone 3-0 on a batter. It's only the 2nd time he has gone to a 3-ball count on a batter. And the pitch to Flack is low and inside, and the Kee Hawks have their first base runner.
Number 9 plays Olson.
And I believe
Running at first base, Evan Whalen.
the Kee Hawks will go with a courtesy runner here, and that will be Evan Whalen at first base. Clay Olson will be the batter. He struck out swinging to start the 2nd, 0 for 1. 5-0 Decorah here in the top of the 4th inning. Swinging bunt, 3rd base side, and foul. It's no balls and 1 strike on Clay Olson. We mentioned Decorah going to play Mason City tomorrow night. Be a busy night here at the complex with sub-state soccer. Decorah and Dubuque Wahlert. That ought to be a good one at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. So, and watch 2 sports tomorrow night. Should be a fun night of sport and Decorah student athletes. Curve swung on and missed by Olson, and it's no balls, 2 strikes on Clay Olson. 0-2 with 2 down, top of the 4th inning. The 0-2 delivery just missed the outside edge. Not a bad look. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nimrod comes set. The 1-2 delivery, swinging a pop-up foul first base side. Marlowe angling towards the line, but it's going to land on the roadway heading up to the football stadium. So it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes on Clay Olson. 5-0 the advantage for Decorah as Nimrod trying to get out of the first base runner of the game as the pitch goes outside, and Nimrod called for the quick pitch, and it's going to be a balk. Colin came set but did not pause long enough from the stretch position, and the base umpire right on top of that one. Deuce is wild on the cleanup hitter for the Kee Hawks. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Curveball taken for strike 3. Nimrod strikes out the side again. A walk in between. The Kee Hawks leave their first base runner of the game. We are halfway home in game 1 of this doubleheader. It is Decorah leading Lansing Kee 5-0. Bottom of the 4th inning we go. It's a 5-0 lead for Decorah. Back here at Olenczak Field on opening night 2015. Decorah scored on a wild pitch in the first inning. In the second inning, a 2-run single by Gabe Varney and a dropped pop-up scored the 3 runs. In the third inning, it was an Andrew Benelli RBI single to score Brennan Hogan with the 5th run of the game. Gabe Varney will start the 3rd trip around the batting order for the Vikes. Varney struck out swinging in the first, single to right to knock in 2 in the second, hit one well out into left center field, and it's misplayed out in left center by McLymans. A big turn at first base, but Varney's going to stay put, and there's one down here in the first inning. So Varney now 2 for 3 on the day.
Stepping up, Colin Nimrod.
And the Vikes now with 6 hits here in the ball game, and Varney took his lead. Peterson wasn't on the rubber yet, so he throws over to first base to keep Varney honest, who stumbled back to the bag. Nimrod has walked and scored in the first, hit into a fielder's choice in the second. He pops one out into center field. Angling over is the center fielder, Kelch, who ends up dropping the ball. Varney's going to reach third. Nimrod with a big turnaround second. He's going to stay put right there. Second and third with nobody out on a couple of misplays by the Kee Hawk outfield. That one touched the glove of Kelch, so we'll give the Kee Hawks their 4th error on that one. We gave Varney a base hit a couple of moments ago just because of the fact that it did not touch the glove of McLymans. And Caleb Qualley will look at the first pitch high, 1 ball, no strikes. We mentioned both these teams pretty green coming into the season, and a lot of room to grow from 2 days after Memorial Day till the middle of July when the postseason starts, as the pitch out of the zone to Qualley. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 delivery. Qualley pops one foul, first base side. Angling up the first base side. A nice play is made by the first baseman, Reinke, in foul ground for the first out of the inning. Qualley retired on the foul out, and Jacob Marlowe will stand in.
First baseman, Jacob Marlowe.
Varney at third, Nimrod at second. 1 down, and Marlowe to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Popped to second in the first and grounded to third in the second. 5-0 Decorah here in the 4th as Marlowe pops one foul territory, third base side. Angling over is Peterson, but he overran the ball a little bit, and he cannot corral it in front of the Decorah fans on the third base side. So new life for Marlowe and a no ball and 1 strike count. Varney, the runner at third, Nimrod at first. New life for Marlowe. Pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One delivery, swinging a foul back. Interesting infield setup here for Kee High. You're up at the corners. You're halfway at second and you're back at short. You figure, perhaps since you're down 5-0, you maybe wouldn't want to go down any further than that, and everyone should be up, but that's why I'm up here and other people coach. 1-2 on Marlowe is high. 4 2 balls and 2 strikes now. 2-2 the count with 1 down. 2-2 delivery. Up again, it's 3 balls, 2 strikes with Hogan on deck. Three-two, curveball taken for strike 3. Marlowe down on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Peterson, and there's 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Shortstop, Brandon.
And the batter will be Brandon Hogan. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. He walked and scored in the 3rd. He'll look at the first pitch high outside for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 from Peterson, swung on and a pop-up foul first base side. Reinke angling into foul ground, and he misplays the ball and can't corral it, so new life for Hogan. No balls and 2 strikes the count. We'll have the softball game after this one. Peterson out of the windup, the 0-2 delivery outside. It got by the catcher Flack briefly, but not enough to warrant runner advancement. So it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two ground ball towards short, fielded there by Hitchens. He'll lob it across the diamond to retire his fellow shortstop, and that's that here in the 4th inning. A hit, an error, and 2 left. We are 4 innings complete. It's 5-0 Decorah. Top of the 5th inning we go. Colin Nimrod has walked 1, has struck out 7, has not given up a hit through 4. It'll be hitters 5, 6, and 7.
Number 5, 6, 7 hitters due up, starting with Jed McLyman.
Starting with Jed McLymans. McLyman struck out swinging his first time up, and there's a fly ball in the center field. Gave Barney under it to make the catch for the first out here in the 5th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th. Nimrod has not been forced to work a ton in this ball game. In fact, his next offering will only be his 49th pitch of the game. A 5-0 lead for Decorah as the pitch swung on and fouled at the plate by Ethan Walliser, who struck out looking to end the 2nd inning 0 for 1. Decorah a run in the 1st, a run in the 3rd, and a 3 spot in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 delivery in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Ethan Walliser. Nimrod picking up where he left off a year ago as a very solid starter for Decorah. The pitch swung on and missed. A good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Walliser. And another strikeout for Colin Nimrod. 8 strikeouts now for Colin. 2 down, nobody on.
Next, Michael Reinke.
And the batter will be Michael Reinke. He grounded to 2nd, and Cam Korsness in the 3rd inning. Reinke, a left-hand hitter against the right-handed pitcher Nimrod. Callan's first offering is low outside for a 1 ball, no strikes. The bottom of the 4th inning was the first time Decorah had not scored in an inning. The pitch just missed the outside edge, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 coming from Nimrod in there for a strike. It's 2-1 now on Michael Reinke. 5-6-0 for Decorah, 0-0-4 for the Kee Hawks. Pitch outside from Collin. It's 3 balls and 1 strike now. 3-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Looked like Collin took a little something off of that one. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes now. 3-2 the count. The pitch sprayed foul. Third base side, not a play. So we'll do it again at 3-2. 3-2 in the pitch. High and outside for ball 4. So for the second consecutive inning, the Kee Hawks get a base runner with 2 outs. Both have been on walks from Nimrod. Runner at first and 2 down for Tucker Kelsch, who struck out swinging in the third, 0 for 1. First offering outside, 1 ball, no strikes. A lead at first base by Reinke. Nimrod comes set, and the pitch, breaking ball outside edge, taken for a strike. And it is 1 ball, 1 strike on Kelsch. 5-0 lead for Decorah here in the top of the 5th. Nimrod steps off. One outside. 2 balls, 1 strike count. Runner goes, pitch taken outside, throw down to second base, not in time. Qualley was a little delayed throwing the ball in that situation, as if he wasn't expecting anybody to go, but I don't think anybody on the Viking infield was communicating that to Qualley either. Three balls, 1 strike. Kee Hawks have their first runner in scoring position, or their second runner in scoring position tonight, and the 3-1 delivery is on the outside edge for a strike, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Three-two runner at second, and the pitch low for ball 4. So Nimrod allows his second walk of the inning. And Coach Dennis Olenzak out to chat with Nimrod. A tally in the first and the third, a 3 spot in the second for Decorah. This is the first.
Tomorrow night, Mason City is here. JV at 5:30, varsity to follow. Conference opener next Tuesday, June 2nd with New Hampton. And the Vikings go to South Winneshiek on June 3rd. Crestwood back here June 5th.
First time that the Kee Hawks have had multiple runners on in the same inning. First and second with 2 down for John Mooney. Mooney popped a first in the first inning, 0 for 1. 2 on, 2 out here in the 5th. Here's a ground ball fielded by Nimrod on one knee at the bottom of the pitcher's mound. He runs towards first and gives Jacob Marlowe an underhand toss to retire the side. 2 walks, 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It is a 5-0 lead for Decorah. Bottom of the 5th inning we go. It's a 5-0 lead for Decorah. It appears Joe Kanoki is going to get a chance here to bat for Trevor Phillips. Kanoki appeared earlier in the game as a courtesy runner. He will get a chance to bat for Phillips here in the 5th. The left-hand hitter against the right-hander Peterson. Peterson still in there for the Kee Hawks. And he throws his 91st pitch of the game, and it's out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. 5-0 Decorah. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third as Kanoki takes the next pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. We'll have softball after this one tonight. We'll keep you up to date on game 2 of the doubleheader throughout that one. Pitch inside. It is 3 balls, no strikes now on Joe Kanoki. .3-0 delivery. In there for a strike. It's 3-1 now. .3-1 in there for a strike. It's now 3-2. And the pitch out of the zone, high and tight. And Joe Kanoki draws the base on balls. Joe at first with nobody out, and Andrew Benelli will be the batter. Reached on an error and scored in the second. Single to right to knock in a run in the third. 5-0 Decorah here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And a move to first base, and it's a wild throw over the head of the first baseman, Ryan Kee. So Kanoki will head to second base on the throwing error by Peterson. Peterson's 2nd error of the night, and the Kee Hawks' 5th error of the night. Benelli squares to bunt and looks at the first pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. Marlowe, the only man in the Decorah lineup that has yet to reach base. And here's a nice bunt by Benelli. I guess it wasn't that great of a bunt, but it died without being caught as Reinke made the play and threw on to Olson, the second baseman, covering the bag. Sacrifice complete, 3-4, and that'll move Kanoki up to third on the play, and Tyler Dostal will be the batter. Kanoki at third, 1 down. Infield up on the grass at first and third, halfway at short and second. Dostal 0 for 2 officially. He'll take a strike, 0-1. Reached on an error and scored in the second and flew out to right in the third. 0-1 delivery, swinging a foul back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes on Tyler Dostal. Second straight inning, the Vikes have gotten a runner to third base with less than 2 outs. They were unable to convert that opportunity in the fourth. This pitch high to Dostal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dostal trying to not make that a trend here in the fifth. 1-2 delivery, low and outside. Flack to his right to prevent runner advancement, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dostal. Kanoki, the runner at third. The 2-2 to Dostal, well high for 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Three-two delivery, high for ball 4. That is the 4th walk by Peterson. There's nobody warming up for the Kee Hawks, so it appears that Coach Moss is just going to go with Peterson here. And the batter is Cam Korsnes. A 5-0 lead for Decorah here in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and third with 1 down. Korsnes singled and scored in the second, reached on, or grounded to first rather, in the third. He'll swing and foul the first pitch off. No balls and 1 strike. Runner goes, pitch taken high, throw down to second base, and Dostal a dead duck down there. Flag through to Hitchens covering the bag. I think Coach O put on that double steal And once the ball went through, Kanoki was supposed to go. Coach O giving Joe the instructions in that situation. Caught stealing 2-6. Pitch out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Korsnes. So of the 5 runs Decorah has scored, none of them have come with 2 outs. Korsnes with a 2-out RBI opportunity here, but he gets hit with the pitch on the inside edge. So that'll set up another first and third situation, this time with 2 down. .108 pitches now for Peterson. And Flack will be the batter. Or Flack will return out to chat with Peterson. He's back behind the plate now, and Gabe Varney will be the batter. Gabe 2 for 3. And he'll look at the first pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. He struck out swinging the first, knocked in 2 with a single to right in the second, and singled in the fourth. Pitch a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Gabe Varney. Runner goes, pitch outside, throw down to second base is not in time. It got by the shortstop Hitchens. Kanoki down the line from third to score, and it's a 6-0 lead for Decorah. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Varney. Kanoki scoring on the back end of the double steal. Korsnes down at second base, and Varney with a 2-out RBI opportunity here as the pitch goes high. It is 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Coach Friedhoff taking a picture that I'm sure he will Instagram here in the not too distant future. Pitch above the head and taken for a strike. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Just being honest there. 3-2 now on Varney. 3-2 outside, ball 4. And Colin Nimrod will be the batter, first and second with 2 down.
Now batting Colin Nimrod.
Nimrod walked and scored in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the second, and reached on an error in the third. Colin looks at a strike, 0-1. A 6-0 lead for Decorah as we play the bottom half of the 5th inning. 0-1 delivery, swung on, smack towards right field, and a base hit. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Korsnes. He will score. Varney will stay put at second base. It's now a 7-0 lead for the Vikings. So Nimrod with a single to right to score Korsnes. Varney stopped at second base. And now Coach Jim Moss is out to get Peterson here, and we'll see if he makes a pitching change or not. It apparently will be Kyle Hitchens coming to the pitcher's mound. 7-0 will lead for Decorah. We'll tell you about the changes here in a moment. Kyle Hitchens moves from shortstop to pitcher. Dylan Peterson moves from pitcher to shortstop. A simple exchange for the Keyhawks there. So Peterson has been charged with all 7 runs to this point. Hitchens did not throw any varsity ball a year ago. Caleb Qualley is 1 for 3. He singled to right in the first, grounded to the pitcher in the second inning, and fouled out to first in the fourth. The pitch, ground ball towards third and foul. No balls and 1 strike. Peterson gives up 7 hits, 7 runs, but only 2 have been earned in his 4 2/3 as the pitch goes low. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Caleb Qualley. Varney, the runner at second. Nimrod, the runner at first. Nimrod just knocked in Korsnes with a single to right. And here's a ground ball towards third. Fielded there by Walliser. He'll throw on to first base and Reinke to retire Qualley in the side here in the 5th inning. But the Vikes score 2 more. on one hit, helped out by 2 Kee Hawk errors. And 2 runners left. We head to the 6th. It's 7-0 Decorah. A 7-0 lead for Decorah as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order due for the Kee Hawks here. Dylan Peterson, Kyle Hitchens, and Logan Flack to face Colin Nimrod, who is through 5 innings, has given up no hits. He's walked 3, and he has struck out 8. Dylan Peterson has fouled to the first baseman in the 1st inning and struck out swinging in the 4th. He's up again here in the 6th to face Colin Nimrod, who's been pretty efficient as Peterson bunts and fouls the first pitch off. No balls and 1 strike. Nimrod's pitch total right now at 65.
Kee High, Dylan Peterson.
Colin ready, and the 0-1 offering misses low for 1 ball, 1 strike to count. This is Vikings Radio, 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDEC Radio.com. Darren Swenson from Olensack Field here tonight as the pitch goes inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Two-one. Ground ball towards short. Hogan to his left. Plays a funny hop. He'll throw on to first base, and Marlowe. Peterson retired 6-3. 1 shortstop retires the other, and there's 1 down here in the 6th inning. Vikes have scored in every inning except the 4th. And Nimrod has retired the first batter in all 6 frames. He, in fact, in the first 5 has retired the first 2 batters in the inning. As Kyle Hitchens will be the batter now. He's 0 for 2. He'll look at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Hitchens retired on a swinging bunt by Caleb Qualley in the 1st inning and struck out swinging in the 4th. The 0-1 delivery swung on and missed. It is no balls, 2 strikes now on Hitchens. 7-0 advantage for Decorah as we play the top half of the 6th inning. 0-2 delivery. Outside corner, strike 3 call. So Colin Nimrod with another strikeout. And he has struck out 9 on the night to go along with 3 walks. Logan Flack grounded to short in the 1st and walked in the 4th. A 7-0 lead for Decorah as Flack will look at a strike, 0-1. Gabe Varney 2 RBI on the night. Andrew Benelli with another RBI. Colin Nimrod with an RBI offensively. The other 3 runs have scored thanks to Kee Hawk errors as Nimrod paints the black the outside edge for a strike. And it is 0-2. 0-2 with 2 down. The pitch swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Qualley will pick it up. He'll throw down to first base, and the throw hits the head of the runner Flack, so Flack will reach on the throwing error by Qualley. Strikeout E2. Whalen will courtesy run for Flack at first base, and the batter will be Clay Olson, who's been a strikeout victim twice of Nimrod. Swinging in the 2nd and looking in the 4th. A 7-0 lead for Decorah as we play the top half of the 6th inning. The pitch, Olson swings and fouls it back. No balls and 1 strike to count. So Nimrod will get credit for a strikeout a moment ago. He's now into double-digit strikeouts on the game. The 0-1 delivery is outside for 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Nimrod wasn't on the rubber, so he steps off and sends Whalen back to the bag. It is 1 ball, 1 strike count. The pitch goes low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now on Clay Olson. The 2-1. Swinging a foul back. It's 2-2 now on Olson. Deuce is wild on the Kee Hawk cleanup hitter. A 7-0 lead for Decorah. And they're going to call Nimrod for a balk once again. So no pitch. It's still 2-2. And that's the second time that Nimrod has been called for a balk. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count the pitch. Curve ball inside. Don't know where in the world it missed, but it's 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Sometimes the curve is so good that it even fools the umpire, and that's what happened that time. That was a heck of a deuce from Collin. 3 balls, 2 strikes in the pitch. Ground ball, 1 hopper knocked down by Collin. He'll pick it up and throw wild to first base. Scoring on the play will be Whalen. Going to second is Olson, and it's a 7-1 ball game. Nimrod had a little trouble coming up with that one. By the time he corralled it, he just kind of spiked the ball into the ground, and it hopped by Marlowe at first base. That allowed Whalen to score, Olson to reach second. The no-hitter still intact, but the shutout is gone, and Jed McLymans will be the batter. 7-1 the score now. McLymans nowhere close to a Nimrod curve, and it's no balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 delivery from Nimrod, swinging a pop-up foul right side out of play. It is no balls and 2 strikes now on McLymans. Nimrod trying to get out of it here in the 6th. The pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on McLymans. As McLymans appeared to strain his shoulder a bit on that attempted check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. McLymans asked for time. He steps out. Now he's back in. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count from Collin Nimrod. The 1-2 delivery low and in the dirt. It got by Qualley. Heading down to third is Clay Olson. He will reach without a play. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Two and 2, and the pitch swung on, smacked into left field. After it is the left fielder Minks, and Minks bobbled and made the catch. It popped out of his glove. It went up in the air. He stuck with it, and he made the grab. He got a good jump on the ball. The end of it wasn't exactly how you draw it up, but nonetheless a nice play by Cole Minks out in left field to make the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 0 hits, 2 errors, 1 left. 5.5 done. It's 7-1. Decorah leading Kee High. Vikes have scored offensively in every inning except the 4th. They lead at 7-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Collin Nimrod has been the story of this one. as he has allowed no hits, struck out 10, walked 3 in his 6 innings to this point. Jacob Marlowe, Brandon Hogan, and Trevor Phillips will be the new batters here in the 6th inning. To face Kyle Hitchens, the second pitcher of the game.
On half of the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Vikings, starting with Jacob Marlowe.
For the Kee Hawks, Dylan Peterson went the first 4 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 7 runs, only 2 earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Jacob Marlowe looks at the first pitch high, 1 ball, no strikes. Hitchens got the final batter in the 5th inning as Marlowe hits it 1 towards third, off the glove of Walliser and into shallow left field. So Marlowe will reach for the first time in this game. Marlowe reaches on the E5, 6 errors tonight for the Kee Hawks. And Brandon Hogan will be the batter. Hogan hit by a pitch in the 1st, walked and scored in the 3rd, grounded to short in the 4th. Colin Nimrod scored on a wild pitch as that one looped down the third base side. It's a fair ball. Heading towards second base will be Marlowe. First and second with nobody out here in the 6th inning. A bloop single for Hogan, his first varsity base hit. First and second, nobody out. And the batter will be Trevor Phillips. Phillips batted twice in this game, struck out looking in the 1st, sacrificed in the 3rd. He was hit for by Joe Kanoki in the 5th, who walked and scored as Marlowe heads down to 3rd on the wild pitch. And Jake moves to 3rd and gets in there sliding. Hogan will follow him to 2nd. It's 1-0 on Trevor Phillips, and now he will bat with 2 runners in scoring position. 1-0 the count on Phillips. Infield up at all 4 spots for the Kee Hawks as that one smacked into center field, and it'll be a base. It'll be caught, I should say, by Kelch. Tagging at 3rd and scoring is Marlowe. Marlowe scores on the sacrifice fly to make it 8-0. So a Phillips sacrifice fly allows Marlowe to score. Hogan stays put at second base on the play. And Andrew Benelli will be the batter. Curveball taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. Benelli reached on an error and scored in the 2nd, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and sacrificed a runner-up in the 5th. As Benelli hits a ground ball towards 3rd, fielded there by Walliser, he'll throw across the diamond to retire Benelli. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. And the batter will be Tyler Dostal. An 8-1 lead for Decorah here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Dostal reached on an error and scored in the 2nd, flew out to right in the 3rd, walked again in the 5th. Hogan away from 2nd and the first offering, lone outside. It is 1 ball, no strikes. So the Vikes scored in every frame except the 4th. And with the wackiness, which is the scoreboard tonight, it says Decorah hasn't scored in the 4th, but hey, weird things happen. Don't blame E-Train for that one as the pitch goes high. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. This first of 2 will have softball after this one tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Tyler Dostal. Hogan, the runner at second base with 2 down. The 1-1 delivery smacked into right center field and a base hit. Hogan rounding 3rd, coming to the plate. The throw to the plate will not be in time. A 2-out RBI single for Tyler Dostal. And it's a 9-1 lead for Decorah. So that's 2 2-out runs, each coming in the last 2 frames for the Vikings. And the batter will be Cam Korsnes. Korsnes singled and scored in the 2nd, reached on a hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th. Sandwiched in between was a ground out to first in the 3rd. as Dostal stretching out his calf or his hamstring over there at first base, but he's going to be all right as Korsness gets hit by the pitch again. So a high level of baseball magnetism for Cam Korsness tonight as he is hit for the second time, and the batter will be Gabe Varney. First and second, 2 down, 2 in, 6th inning, 9-1 Decorah. Varney has been on base 3 of the 4 times he's been up tonight. Varney swings and grounds one towards the first base side, fielded right on the bag by Ryan Kee. He will tag the bag to retire the side. So, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left. We go to the 7th. Vikes will try to close it out next. They lead at 9-1. Offensively, Decorah has scored in every frame with the exception of the 4th. And Colin Nimrod has been very solid out on the hill. He's walked 3 and he has struck out 10. And he will face hitters 6, 7, and 8 for the Kee Hawks here in the 7th inning. Ethan Walliser has been a strikeout victim twice, once looking in the 2nd, once swinging in the 5th. Nimrod has struck out 10, has given up the 1 run thanks to a couple of errors in the
7, 8, 9 hitters.
6th inning.
Starting Ethan Walliser.
He has retired the first 2 batters of every frame to this point. Wallister late on a swing and he fouls it into the parking lot on the first base side. No balls, 1 strike the count. Nimrod has given up no hits. The Vikes have 9. Kee Hawks with 6 errors and the Vikes with 2. 0-1 delivery and on the outside edge for a strike, and it's 0-2 the count. Oh, 2 in the pitch. Swing and a foul as Walliser late on that one. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes from Nimrod. Callan ready in the 0-2 delivery. Swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Qualley will throw down to Marlowe, and it's a better throw this time. And Walliser retired on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Walliser down on strikes, and Michael Reinke will be the batter. He grounded to 2nd in the 3rd and walked in the 5th. They'll look at a strike here from Nimrod. No balls, 1 strike. Oh, 1 delivery outside from Collin. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Collin just threw his 90th pitch of the game. One delivery, swing and a pop-up, 3rd base side foul territory out of play. Didn't quite reach Goose Island Drive, but came close. And it is 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Michael Reinke. 1-2 the count from Nimrod. Callan kicks and deals in the 1-2 delivery, swing and a foul tip into the glove of Caleb Qualley for the strikeout. Strikeout number 12 for Nimrod, and there's 2 down here in the 7th inning. 2 down, nobody on. And the batter will be Tucker Kilsch. Struck out swinging in the 3rd and walked in the 5th. And the first pitch outside.
Number 8, Tucker Kilsch.
1 ball, no strikes to count on Kilsch. Nimrod ready, the 1-0 offering in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1, and here it comes from Nimrod, low and outside for 2 balls, 1 strike. We'll have softball coming up after this one tonight. Season opener for the Decorah girls, taking on the defending 1A state champions, Lansing Keyhawks, or state runners-up, I should say. The pitch goes outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Three-one delivery, inside corner for a strike, and we're all the way out to 3 balls, 2 strikes now. 3-2 with 2 down. 9-1 Decorah here in the top of the 7th inning. And the 3-2 delivery, swing and a miss, and that's a Viking victory. The second career no-hitter for Colin Nimrod. He walks 3 and he strikes out 13, giving up the 1 unearned run as the Vikes start the season in style. 9 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, and 10 left for Decorah. 1 run, no hits, 6 errors for the Keyhawks. And they left 4. Colin Nimrod, the winning pitcher. He's 1-0. Dylan Peterson, the losing pitcher, 0-1. We'll have softball here in the not-too-distant future on Vikings Radio 1240 KDEC.